Well, all right. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Gundam Explained podcast. I'm Adam Blue. Joining me is Steven. This is one of those days of the year where I think everyone is kind of going through that cold that's happening. I mean, it's like super
Oh
cold
yeah,
everywhere. And I didn't have
yeah.
the festive Santa hat, unfortunately. So I just added some snow effects.
Well, we gotta keep the heat miser at bay, and
No, I even have a heater under my desk right now, and it feels
oh
so
man,
good. Like I can just sit there and be like, yeah, I'm good. But hey, to look at the chat, we got Robert, Lucas, Dark Samurai Neo, Dan Vince, Yannick Shadow, Matt, Mad Dog Wheaton, Jedi Sayla, Brian Zanichelli, Neon Wave, USS Talos, which I believe USS Talos, weren't you just tweeting on me with some lore on Twitter? Thank you very much. I love lore stuff when I'm trying to figure that out. Oh, need one of these hoodies, Yannick Shadow? Yeah, my wife made this, but I'm glad you brought that up because it might be down here in YouTube. I don't know where. There's a store, a Teespring store, where I have a hoodie that has like the Gundam Explained logo. There's also some other stuff in there, like a hat. Oh,
yeah.
classic
Meanwhile,
order
you're over
gameplays.
here like, oh, your fingers hurt. Well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Yeah.
This is some handmade quality we're talking here, all right?
Yeah, and also there's like a link to an Amazon store, and that's not too big of a deal. That's just like where things I get, I link there. That's for
You
supporting
and I
stuff.
have been getting really big into that, right?
Yeah,
Like finding products that you and I like that we endorse. That's like not in a cheesy shilly way, but it like you and I are both kind of getting our feet wet when it comes to Gunpla and collectibles and all that good stuff. So,
yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you brought up the shill aspect because funny story. By the way, what are you drinking?
oh, tonight just some bourbon,
Oh,
Jim Beam, keeping it
oh,
cheap.
okay, cool, cool. No, earlier today, yeah, we were playing the 0081 with Ultronymous. We were all playing
Yes.
online, which is awesome. And then, like, while we're playing, my wife comes over and hands me a shot. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well. Yeah, I thought that
Well,
was...
and I was sitting there. I'm like, wait a second, I'm still at work. So, and you're a time zone behind me. So I was like, what?
That's what's cool about the holidays. It gets
Yeah.
closer
If
to
my
that
wife wasn't
day.
at work, I would have been like, honey,
Yeah.
we need it.
No, but, no, I was going to say something else. Yeah, speaking of shilling. So, it's funny. I might have mentioned this. Like, G Fuel has a Gundam version now. And I've never bothered with G Fuel. Anytime I saw G Fuel on a YouTube, I'd be like, oh my God, they're shilling it. But then I looked into it and I realized it's like no sugar. It's,
Yep.
and even the calories, either it's non-existent or it's really low, and it's just a little bit of caffeine like you get from a tea or something, it just with a cool flavor. I'm like, actually, that's not bad. That is a great alternative. I would rather be peddling that than like soda and whatever. So I was like, you know what? I want to be a part of that. So, they were going to send me some, which was cool. I shout out to Namco Bandai Namco, yeah, for helping
Bamco.
with that. Yeah, I like the Bamco Namdai, but what was funny was I'm trying to like help them, get the word out. So on Twitter, I was like liking their tweets, and one was to win that same Gundam set of G Fuel, and I won it. So I was like, okay. So that means I'm going to get two. So
There you go.
this means, and it's sold out. So for Gundam Explained, the audience, I am going to give one away when I get the other one. I think that'd be a good way to go about it. So
Absolutely.
keep an eye out for that.
Like I said, you are just shy. The Gundam Explained podcast is just shy of 3,000 subscribers.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if we can get to 3,000 by 2023, I think that there's some G Fuel. There's some Gundam branded G Fuel in someone's future.
I think so. That would be a good New Year 3,000 gift. And just to let you guys know, I just heard my heater kick in. It's the AC unit, but the heat part, and it's like, man, it sounds like a spaceship. So I don't know if that's going to cause a flicker. I do know that this nice programmer using allows me to get right back into the stream. So just FYI, if but no, Today we're going to talk about some cool things because we're getting to the end of the year, and really there's been a lot of cool Gundam games, Gunpla stuff. So we'll look at the post I put up on YouTube about that, and we'll get into that. But first, I was on Steven's stream yesterday. It was another like Christmas themed one. A ton of fun because we were kind of going at it. He has actually a few like cool it's amazing actually. You're like, here's some little things I made, and it's like some pretty amazing stuff. But and we also just kind of sat back and chilled and talked. So go hit that up if you haven't yet.
Yeah. It's always fun, especially when the chat gets lively. And I'm like, you know what, you guys are doing your own thing, and we're just talking. Adam and I will start arguing about our own thing, which is.
Yep. And just okay. So, Robert, Robert, I got to listen to your read your chat. Okay, so Robert sent me something he wanted me to show on stream. So check this out. This is his artwork, by the way. So this Happy Holidays, Adam. He drew me a waifu. Thank you. Unless that's not a waifu, but it's excellent artwork. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And then so along with that is the Savick class Light Runner. Because if you're not familiar with the fan art part of the Discord, Robert has put some of his stuff in there, which is pretty cool. And then I guess here's the prototype version before he colored it. What's that?
But you're getting the originals, so that's these are legit.
Be worth something someday. Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. I love ship stuff. And then look at.
I will answer you, Robert. Is G Fuel alcoholic? No, it is not.
Nope.
It is an energy drink. It's like Gatorade, but with caffeine in it.
Yeah, which is cool about it because it very low sugar, and even the caffeine content is not as high as a typical coffee. But look at the perspective on this one.
Oh,
Mech Fighter
some
Sakura.
3-point perspective going on.
Yeah, so, thank you, Robert. I really appreciate the art. I mean, I love art and stuff like that. So, yeah, thank you very much. Hey, Sway, good to see you in there. Okay.
Zionic Shadow does give a shout-out to the new Gunpla. That there's been a ton of new Gunpla announced this week, which not all of it, but most of it has been Witch from Mercury stuff. There's some fire designs that are coming out here.
I know, and I was just shocked at the Witch from Mercury stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that I remember when they released or announced some stuff like a month or two ago. It seemed spoilery because it's like, oh, we haven't seen that yet. But this new stuff is like, whoa, what is going to happen? People even speculating, oh, this looks like grunt suits. It looks like we're going to see some corporate wars going on. So I'm all about that.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah. Okay, well, was there another thing I was going to talk about? I don't remember, but let me move on here real quick. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. You can just ignore that. Okay. So, yeah, I put up on YouTube, because it's near the end of the year, like, what's your favorite Gunpla action figure releases of 2022? And I'll just read these real quick. Actually, let me put on my old type.
There you go.
This is from Hitachi Cordoba. Having limited shelf space, I love the huge variety of Gundam Converge fully painted chibi Shokugan figures at Japanese supermarkets. Yeah, that's right. The Converge stuff. That's cool.
The Converge stuff is very awesome. I mean,
yeah.
I'm
I'm
a big fan.
Oh, that's cool. That
you know I had to get the Converge Zeta.
That's the one I need. I got the RX-78 too, and it falls over all the time. I wasn't too happy about that. Also loving the G-Frame series, easy assembly, 1/44th scale. Although I think G-Frame is smaller than 1/44th.
Slightly smaller, but it's funny. I actually went to Hobby Lobby today to get some last-minute Christmas gifts for some family and stuff like that. And I was blown away by the 40% off that they're doing on box model kits. So last-minute model kits, go out there. They've got Zaku 2 F2s, the Federation model, the white Zaku. $26, 40% off. You're looking at like a $17 Zaku 2. And that kit is amazing.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Wait, speak again. I want to hear your
Oh,
sexy voice real
sorry.
quick.
Am
Okay,
I?
there we go. Yep, I saw where I had something. But no, you're right, because I went to Hobby Lobby and got the Exia real grade because
Yes.
I saw that Zaku 2. I did see that, and I was like, should I get that? But because the Exia, it was a real grade for one. I love building real grades, and two, it
Fair
was
enough.
it was like I'm not into the. I love Double O, but I couldn't get into the suit. So maybe this is a way for me to appreciate the suit. That
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was my thinking. So
But
okay,
yeah, I mean, so I saw some of those G-frame kits at Hobby Lobby, and they are slightly smaller than a 1 to 1/44 scale, but they're sweet. I mean, the detail on them, the panel lines and stuff, it's far more detailed than any high grade kit that you'll get.
yeah, I got the Blue Destiny and detailed that and everything, and it actually looks really good. Like you could mistaken it for a high grade, for sure.
Yeah.
And I did. I think I fixed that echo, guys. Thank you. When I switched scenes, I forgot to account for the new audio tracks.
Sorry, it's just me. It's this microphone. I
Yeah, it is
start to
you,
sound a
Steven.
little bit like Darth Vader.
It's all you. Um, when it's really me, but I like to blame others. It makes me feel better about myself. But let me finish that one. Okay. My most recent high grade Gunpla are the FA-78-3 Full Armor 7th. Now I know that's a popular one. RX-78 GPO-2A Type MLRS, and the RGM-79 HCGM Guard Custom, which more or less completes my UC high grade GM collection. That sounds like a badass collection. Let me look that up actually real quick.
So funny story about that GPO2 MLRS type is today, while Adam and I were playing some 0081, we were playing this mission where we were trying to stop the Zamel from reaching a certain objective point. And all of a sudden, I get murked, Ultronimus gets murked, and Adam's sitting there like, what happened to you guys? There is a GPO2 on the field that is going around and just one-shotting all of us.
That was badass. Like I didn't even see it actually. It's just the mission ended. Well, I think you guys started saying, "What? There's a GPO2 or something." I'm like, "What?" And then, oh man,
mission failed.
Yeah, no, that's a great game. I'm gonna make more content on 0081 because it's still a good game. It holds up more than just like the controls, but the graphics, even though it's low res. Oh, Goose, good to see you. Fixed. Excellent. Yeah, thanks, everyone, for shouting out the audio. I'm getting so good at this that this could be another profession easily. But
there you go.
All right, I wanted to show this. Yeah, this GM Guard Custom. I've always seen this, and I think it just looks sick. A GM collection is really a good focus. If someone was like, what should I collect Gunpla-wise? You can't go wrong with GMs. In fact, and that was my shout out to that USS Talos. I could be wrong. Let me. Where did I? Yeah, USS Talos here. So when I was playing GBO2 today, and I got this high boost GM, and I'm like, we were talking earlier about the dual wielding. Remember, Steven? And I just never did it, but it was this unit, and I'm like, man, this thing looks sick. And so
it's got like a couple Mac 10s.
I know. And then, yeah, Talos was given some background lore on it. So if you guys are interested in that, I retweeted the lore on my page. Pretty cool stuff. I love new GM lore.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, thanks, Hitachi Cordorba, if I said that correctly. And then Goku 1395, I'd have to say the Robot Spirits Ground Gundam or the Robot Spirits FF New Gundam. Wait a minute, that's Ian, of course. I keep forgetting that's his YouTube handle. Yeah, because I was like, this sounds like something Ian would say. And yeah, it was Ian.
Sure enough.
Yeah, no, that I think that Robot Spirits Ground Gundam is like such a good pick. And then Lucas Garrett, the MG Gundam TR1 Hazel Custom, which that they re-released the Master Grade. And I was like, oh, so the ones that are 100 now on eBay will probably go down a little lower, and then I can just grab this too if I want. And I didn't, and it sold out. And
yep,
yeah, but that is a good pick. I would align with that. And then Zionic Shadow, Robot Spirits AGX Zero Four A1 Javera Tetra Custom Ver Anime. Um, and
Sick.
that is the is that the SEMA?
Yeah, that's like the.
Oh no, this is the
It's technically the
uh,
GPO4, but like
it's this one's technically
Xeonified.
not out yet though, right? I think they announced it.
Has it not come out? I'm pretty sure it's a re-release, is it not?
For the Robot Spirits.
Oh,
No.
gotcha.
Although that could be
Yeah,
a different one because that's his Tetra Kai. What did he have on there? Just Tetra Custom. Yeah, because okay, I guess the search just showed the other one. Yeah, so that one did come out this year, and that is a good one. It's a very interesting design just because of the mix of suits.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see. And then Dark Samurai, MG Buster Gundam, or High Grade Gundam Unicorn FA, or High Grade Strike Freedom Gundam, or O Gundam. So Buster Gundam, that's Seed, right? Because I've
Yeah.
been watching Seed, and it is not good. I'm sorry. I'm on episode like 14, and like the music is probably the best thing, hands down. The music.
Music is fire. The opening credits are amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
and the battle music, but then like when I'm watching the battles, they're just reusing the animation over and over, and I
and
guess
that
they
was a
do
very
that.
popular thing in the early aughts. Like
Oh,
even
okay,
in a lot of different anime, or not just anime, but animation in general. Like I
okay.
think that the Transformers cartoons, they had like the same recycled anime. Yeah, I keep saying anime. The same recycled animation of like Optimus Prime fusing with Hot Rod to become, and it was like a thing. Every battle was like, okay, now we're going to join, and it was like Morphin time for the Power
Oh,
Rangers, where it's
yeah.
like we're gonna eat up 8 minutes of show with recycled footage so that we can save money. Like,
It reminds me of like I forget what Power Rangers it was, but there's a time where after Mighty Morphin I didn't really watch it, but then my son years ago, like a few years ago, was watching one of them. I think it had to do with the samurai or the ninjas, but
mhm.
they did okay. It's Morphin time, and it was a joke where it took like 10 minutes for each character to go through it, and even the bad guy's like, "Whoa, that took forever." And I was like, "Wow, they're actually playing into it," and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty good." But to go back real quick, I hate that I said the Seed. I'm gonna finish Seed. It's just I think what also hurts is the animation, and I think people have told me that it's because it's the first time that they used the computer to animate a Gundam show. So it's like it has that low res look sometimes.
There's a bit of that, and then I think even the character design. If you look at like 0079 and Zeta Gundam and like some of those older Gundam series, you don't have that heavy like anime influence. Like those cartoons, those characters are drawn like normal people. You don't have like
Yeah,
way oversized waifu eyes and like zero nose and like
yeah.
there's definitely a bit of, I don't know if it's uncanny valley, but there's something going on there where it's like
Yeah, it
they
is
don't
because
look like
there's
human beings.
there's scenes where when they show Kira or the girl, and I forgot her name off the top of my head,
Locke.
maybe. It's it's like if they're not front and center, they have their eyes drawn normal. It's just when they have their glamour shot that it's like the eye looks like the planet Earth in a marble or something. And but again, I'm not kidding. I'm gonna watch it through, and then go through Destiny and all that. Oh, Jedi say this thing. She calls them Barbie doll faces. That's a good way to call it out.
Yeah.
And then Zionic American, good to see you. He says also fun fact: the Cosmic Era was meant to replace the UC as the main Gundam timeline. Interesting. And I guess it just maybe wasn't as popular, or there was more of a blowback or something.
Just kind of failed. I mean, you can't and I think that there's a lot of that going on right now in movies and TV, cinema, all that stuff. People are trying to reinvigorate these old franchises, and it's like maybe the old franchises don't need to be reinvigorated. Like,
Yeah, just
maybe our
continue. Yeah.
kids don't have to like the same things that we like. Maybe we just need to create new things for them to like.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to have that connection. Just make something interesting, you know.
Yeah.
But there's that other side too, where is if you want to connect to it, you just have to do it in that respectable way that that is not trying to. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Very rarely do I think companies really do a good job. Like Ash vs Evil Dead, they did a great job bringing back
Yeah.
Ash and all that.
But there were new characters that like
Yeah.
kind of could have carried the story forward.
Yep. I loved
Lucy
Pablo
Lawless was
and
in that show, which
who?
was
Oh yeah.
Lucy Lawless.
Yeah, Xena. Yeah, so
She
that
was
was
awesome.
cool. Yeah, I really like how they did that. All right, so Neon Wave is saying the main criticism people had with character designs of Seed is that most have the same faces. The only thing making them appear different from each other is their hair. Yeah, that's very interesting. But I feel like that's also a very interesting point in time with animation. What those artists, what their inspirations were that got them to the point to draw that. And then I was watching another anime someone recommended on Twitter that was made just a couple years after, and it was the same look. And I was like, but it was kind of interesting. Let's see.
Which a lot of people have that same critique when it comes to like CalArts style American animation, right? Like Steven Universe, Thundercats Roar. There's like a whole series of Cartoon Network cartoons where all the characters have the same faces, and like you couldn't tell them apart without their accoutrement.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that kind of American art that I see that, like, okay, Samurai Jack, Dexter's Laboratory, I think that was like a start of something that where then other productions were like, okay, let's do this kind of quick, like real jagged or angular, and it just doesn't fit sometimes. Like, it's almost like they're trying to do it stylized, but then it just comes off like, I don't know what I'm looking at. And anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah, we'll move on here. The other one was favorite Gundam game of 2020. Oh, wait, you know what? We didn't even talk about our favorite robot or action figure Gunpla. So, if you don't know yet, I'll go first because I know mine, so you can think about it. And it's the Metal Robot Spirits Hazel with the Harududu, which I hate saying Harududu because I feel like I'm casting a spell. Yeah, I feel like I'm casting a spell on someone, and someone somewhere's going to start clucking like a chicken uncontrollably. And I'm like, sorry. It's just...
So, I do need a little clarification on the question. So, is this just our favorite kit slash figure that we've seen in 2022, or our favorite that came out in 2022?
Well, I'd say favorite that came out in 2022, unless that limits people somewhere, because I guess this stuff can be expensive. But yeah, favorite that came out. Yeah.
Well, then in that case, give me just a hot second.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah, because if it's not that Metal Robot Spirits, it would be that Metal Robots or Hazel. It would be the Metal Robot Spirits. What was it called? The Rigazi Custom. Oh,
here we have
the
Origin High Grade Kukuru's Doan's Island RX-78-2. Honestly, the kit itself is a recycled kit because it's the same as the Origin High Grade kit, but the box art it's like a freaking Star Wars movie poster.
Exactly.
This is incredible box art, and I regret not getting the Zaku, if only because
that was
box
a little
art
more
is
interesting.
just as amazing.
Yeah. You know what? So you haven't built it yet?
Haven't built it yet.
And do you plan to?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So is it exactly the same? They didn't like add any little bits or anything?
Not to my knowledge.
Because I guess the original was fully accessorized anyway.
Right. I mean, the Origin kits in general are fantastic kits. I mean, they're basically real grade. Like they're like maybe one runner short of being real grade kits. They're amazing kits.
That's a good point. Yeah, and that reminds me of the quality of the Moon Gundam. I always hold up that Moon Gundam high grade as like the same thing, just that good looking. All right, so okay. So now that we've gone through our favorite robot or I keep saying Robot Spirits because that's my favorite, but the Gunpla or the action figures.
Yeah.
And feel free if anyone wants to throw in theirs in the chat.
Now
But
this is an interesting comment that
Oh.
I need to show some light on.
Yeah.
So Dan Vince is saying, speaking of art styles, would anyone else be curious to see a Bruce Timm take on Gundam? That stands out to me because I specifically was showing my wife some old Batman the Animated Series stuff, and I was like,
I think it just lended itself to that art style. Lended itself to the source material.
100%.
I don't know about Gundam though.
There's definitely
It'd be like Iron Giant. I feel
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I would want to see that kind of retro futurism, that like 1930s style. Like what would the Gundam look like if it were made as part of like World War One?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good way to go about it. That reminds me of that G40. I think it was that came out where it had that a different kind of design to it.
Love that kid.
Although I have to read this comment, Neon Wave. I would like to see Bruce Campbell appear in Gundam. It'd be groovy. Yeah. I mean, man after my own heart, that's exactly how I feel. Oh, and Jedi is saying that Turn A Gundam has a retro futuristic look to it, and that's a good point. I can't wait to get into that. Dan Vince saying the style was a perfect fit, but more important, the writing didn't talk down to its audience one bit. That is a very important point about writing kids shows, I think. I think kids appreciate it, too. They don't know, but subconsciously, they know when they're hearing something that's a little mature versus like being talked to as a child, and those are things that will resonate with a child as they age, and grow up.
That's a much more articulate way of putting what I've said in the past, where kids, they want to watch TV shows and movies about adults because they want to see the type of person that they want to become.
Yeah.
Whereas adults tend to watch movies about teenagers and kids because they want to reminisce about the people that they were. And I think that, like I said, Dan, way more articulate.
Yeah, no, that was a good way to put it. I think that kind of helps explain why I'm liking Witch from Mercury. Because the setting, it's in a high school, and it's like they have these interesting personalities, some that are very easy to be like, oh yeah, I get that person, but some that are obviously outrageous, but that kind of helps you kind of, if you wanted to relate to an emotion. That Batman animated series, I remember, I think it was, man, what was it, like third grade maybe? I just remember in class and this kid being like, I can't wait to watch Batman. Isn't that the greatest show on TV? And I'm all like, the Batman cartoon? Okay, I guess I'll try it. Yeah. And because I think that was at the time where it was like, Batman, I would think is more kiddie, but
just that Mr. Freeze episode.
Oh yeah,
that Mr. Freeze episode, Heart of Ice, is a masterclass in writing.
And then how it had the matte painting, like opening picture of like with the title card or whatever and the credit.
Yeah.
That was just so well done. Okay, so the games of 2022. So I said you can add Battle Operation 2 Code Fairy because that was the end of last year, and then that was released in certain waves, and then it was hard as hell. Who beat it all in 2021?
Now,
and then
did you beat Code Fairy all the way through?
I did. I didn't do it until like maybe this summer because I had to go from hard to normal, and then I had to go from normal to easy later on. I was like, I can't do this. But I loved it. I loved how it had an opening show, or opening, like a show opening, yeah. And then like the animation, but then when it wasn't full on animation, if it was 3D, it was still high quality enough to where it transitioned nicely. The ending. It really had like a story where it revealed things about the characters, and I haven't done a video on it yet, and I need to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then, we got a bunch of surprise announcements, because then Bandai was saying how they want to make the Gundam games more universal for everyone. So then there was Gundam Evolution that is now on all platforms. SD Gundam Battle Alliance also on all platforms. GBO 2 was supposed to come out on PC this year, but they've added every year. They keep adding more and more to it, where it's practically a new game this year. So to go through this for Matt Mad Dog Wheaton, mine would be Gundam Battle Operation 2 Code Fairy. Yes, the character designs look way too Moe for my taste. So I've heard that I've seen that term Moe, M-O-E. Is that supposed to refer to maybe like little girl looking, like kitty looking? Or do we know? Anyone in chat maybe?
That's a new one to me.
That's something I have discovered recently, that, and like weeb, waifu, all that stuff. That's been fun. Or isekai too. Like there's all these Japanese terms for concepts.
Sugoi.
Oh, Japanese word that refers to feelings of strong affection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think there's probably a little bit of that. Honestly, if Code Fairy had been released as a full-on anime, you'd probably see the same type of discourse on Twitter about it as you do G-Witch.
Oh, because all females.
It's like, they're all females. Obviously, at least 2 of them are dating. And it's like, well, are they? Or like...
Well, you know what's funny is, it's like on one hand, I kind of forgot there wasn't a guy in it, or as a main character. There was a guy there, but at the same time too, because they are kind of the protagonists of the story, because they're female, it's almost like my man reaction that, oh, they're good, like, and so, and it had the nice music too. It was I didn't
Okay, Moe is the girly waifu art style with big Barbie doll eyes.
Okay. It's supposed to mean cute.
Okay.
So that is a good way to explain it then. The cute look. The
Fair
cute
enough.
look is sometimes not conducive of the tone. Like Seed. Great example.
There you go.
Okay, Sway, Gundam Evolution. Yeah, and Sway is one of our veteran Gundam Evolution players. He plays that a lot. That's pretty cool. The Shirt Lad, I'd say Code Fairy and Gun Evo, since GBA was meh in terms of MS roster and there weren't any other notable entries this year. He brings up a good point in terms of there's so many different Gundam fans out there, because some are into the anime, some are into the Gunpla. But when it comes to the video game, sometimes people are playing it because they want the mech customization, the mech action, whereas SD Gundam Battle Alliance wasn't for that. That was more of just I call that the Marvel Ultimate Alliance of Gundam. Like, because, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, me and my son played. We've unlocked every character except, like, the additional Thanos that I guess they released. And it's the same game. And I didn't realize that until later.
And that's a great, what would you call that? Like a template for a game. Like that.
Yeah, they don't do that
Ultimate Alliance
often.
series is a fun game type. I don't know how to define it. It's just like an action game?
It's like an action RPG, but it's almost as it's okay, how to explain it? It's like Dynasty Warriors, but you can't button mash.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it, because there's tons of enemies, and then there's the boss battles, and the boss battles you have to the team plays, and there's always things using your team.
Yeah, I would say that there's like a squad-based aspect of it, where it's like the team composition almost makes up half of the strategy.
Yeah.
It's not just what you do on the battlefield, but also how you prep for the battle.
Yeah, because I remember, my son would play by himself to try to grind for the last Thanos character, and he would need my help on some levels because some of them are just too hard. Yeah, and playing SD Gundam Battle Alliance, there's some missions where you need a co-op partner. You just can't do it even with the AI. And I can't believe I didn't draw that conclusion until later. But 2, I feel like Marvel so many games. Marvel
Battle Alliance Gundam Ultimate. I don't know.
Yeah, the Marvel one wasn't talked about as much as the original 2, but those were multi-platform, and this one was just Switch. But I feel like sometimes that does a disservice to the game, just being on Switch. You know what? Another conclusion I drew. You tell me how stupid I am for just figuring this out. Beginning of Hathaway, when he's in the airplane, and then he goes to the cockpit, and then that person points the gun at him, the clown. and it has the teal ponytails. That was supposed to be Quest, like the look of Quest, because she has the teal ponytails, and that's why he was sitting there stalling. I thought maybe he was scared, and I'm just like, what? Like, because someone posted a picture of that character on Twitter, and then saying something about Hathaway hearing Quest's voice in his head, and I was like, what is it? And that blew my
I can
mind.
see it. Simple Ways Flash.
Yeah, man, I did not. I did not. Oh, Ian, just made it. Good to see you.
Hey, cheers, buddy.
Anyway, I need to compose myself, not be as fast with my talking. Okay. Neon
No.
Wave. I don't
You're
think
good.
Code Fairy would have gotten the same attention as Witch from Mercury has, reason being that the interactions between characters from Witch from Mercury sometimes give off potential romantic vibes. None in Code Fairy. That's true. I didn't really feel the romantic
I
vibes.
don't know.
Were there some?
I don't know. I don't know.
I might have just overlooked it because I sometimes when there's a cutscene, I'm like, I want to play the mission. I know there's a
Honestly,
Gundam story here.
That's the way I feel about it. But it's like there's always something. There's always something that someone can take out of context or take too far to interpret one thing or the other. I can't wait for the Gundam Explained Discord to talk about, like, did you see the way that Steven winked at Adam last week on the
Something's going
podcast?
on.
Clearly,
And they're both
clearly,
men, and that
someone
is
needs to tell their
unacceptable.
wives.
We want better representation for Gundam.
Right. I ship Statum.
That's funny. But yeah, and I guess that's the thing with something like SD Gundam Battle Alliance and GBO2. They don't really have story that's conducive to like romantic plots.
Yeah.
But
It's an AI.
Zionic Shadow GBO2, which you know what, that is a good choice. Thinking that didn't come out, but so many updates make that game worth it.
I mean, weekly new suits.
I know. Like, what other game does that? I mean, but here's the thing. It's like, you got to spend money if you want those. I still haven't got any of the Hazels. There's 2 of them, I think. Maybe. Yeah. And even today, I got the new suit. It was that, I have it in a tab here, that RGM 96S Jesta Shazar Type A.
Yeah.
I got that, and I'm like, yeah, I get today's suit. Today, great. I didn't want that one. I want the Hazel. And like a Hazel beat me the other day, and I'm like, F you, Hazel. Ian has the Hazel. I mean, like, what the heck? Let's see. Yeah, Lucas Garrett, Gundam Evolution. That's cool. Stormcaller, Gundam Battle Operation 2, Dark Samurai, Gundam Maxi Boost. Is that okay? No, that's not okay. But, at least you brought that up because I bought that game and it's kind of fun. I just never play it. It is kind of fun.
I can't do any of the versus games after.
Once it becomes like a hardcore fighting game. It's like there's a point where it went into hardcore fighting game territory. And I get it because then it's less about feeling like you're fighting a mech and more about what's your meta in this moment.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Goose with SD Gundam Battle Alliance. That's a good one.
Always good.
Jimmy, the GBO2, says Gundam Battle Operation 2. And then GitLab, Mbon. Mbon. Mobile Battle Online Network. What is Mbon? Mobile Battle. That's got to be something.
That's got to be a typo.
Oh, or maybe. But I guess for you, Steven, a game. What's the best Gundam game for you this year?
I mean, if it didn't have to come out this year, obviously, I would say 0081.
Oh yeah,
because like
best of all time.
That was, I mean, just the fact that it's been reinvigorated for me as a result of you, me, and Ultronimus playing together. And I am looking forward to streaming or at least releasing some of the gameplay footage of us, co-oping some of this stuff. That's the type of game that just gets overlooked, I think.
I agree. It gives people what they want because not only does it have a lot of content, it has a really good upgrade system. but like the graphics are better than they should be, and the way it plays, it's like the games got arcadier over time. When I think that was like peak. Here is how to pilot what it feels like to pilot a mech without it feeling like old controls.
Yeah. And that game's like 11 years old, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm so glad that I found that game from this.
but what about you? What do you think? Like, what's the
It,
Gundam game that really?
so they've all been really fun, but I gotta say with SD Gundam Battle Alliance, it's as a gamer, that's like my type of game, where I can just do combos, like action, like skill based, like trying to dodge and fight, and like. But I get people's complaint about it not feeling Gundam-y in terms of mechs, but like that's a game that I would have played. Like I'm not a big Marvel person, but I love Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So like this Gundam game, like if I didn't like Gundam, I would still be playing it. That's probably how I
In a weird
would say.
way, Battle Alliance kind of reminds me of like a Mega Man game where it's a very skill-based
Yeah,
game. Like
the timing.
you
Yeah,
can't fake your way through that game. Like
no.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, I like it.
and even if you do fake your way, it's almost like you're pushing your luck to the edge to where when you're done, you're sweating. It's like I was lucky I like dodged that mobile armor. I would have died. Like, yeah,
That
that's
stupid rhinoceros that what's his name has, like,
yeah.
jeez.
Yeah. Any of those mobile armor fights were like insane. Let's see. Ian is saying, hope everyone had been having a good holiday season. Yeah, thanks. Dynasty Warriors Gundam is really good game for just mindlessness aspect. Yeah, it's one that we could probably stream and talk. Not have to
That's another one that I think that we're gonna need to,
stream
you
that.
know,
Yeah,
2023 is gonna be a big year, I think,
for Gundam and our content. Yeah,
for Gundam gaming.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, especially if they get that Steam release of GBO2. Man, I'd be glued to my computer. Um, because I'm in my head, I'm assuming finding a match is gonna be shorter. I was talking to Rogue the other day, like because he plays GBO2 a lot, and in a matter of 3 hours, I played 5 matches. Because sometimes in GBO2, you're sitting there waiting for a match to start, and then someone never readies up,
Yep.
or you're in the lobby. It's like 9 out of 10. And then everyone drops out, and
And
you're like, "Oh my god!" I'm just hoping maybe the PC will help with that. And
Well, I
then
think that's
Lucas,
the beauty of old games like 0081 or Dynasty Warriors, where you don't have lobbies, you don't have
yeah,
like a server that you're playing on. It's weird, direct peer to peer.
that's what was really cool. If people didn't pick up on that yet, when we were playing with Ultronimus earlier today, the PS3, it's not like there was a server for 0081. It was literally us just connecting to each other and playing the maps, and that's just like so great that we didn't have to worry about like a server being shut down.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Lucas Garrett is saying that he's agreeing with Ian in that that the Dynasty Warriors got him into Gundam games. So that's cool, and that's what I like about this stuff. You never know what will get someone into something.
Exactly. And that's why I don't like to knock a particular thing. Like, even if Gundam Evolution is not for me, I'm not going to say that Gundam Evolution shouldn't exist, because if it
Yeah.
introduces just one more fan to UC Gundam, I call that a win.
Yep.
I see this as an absolute win.
Yeah, and it's not like it really did a disservice in any way, because it's like
No.
if it didn't exist, it's not like it changes anything. It's
Right.
anyway. Got to bring this up for some reason. I feel this is relevant. Brian Zanichelli. I'm having a chili dog with cut up onions with shredded cheese. And I was just watching
Beautiful.
Sonic Prime on Netflix, and that is his food of choice
It
on there.
is.
So,
Sonic is a big chili dog fan.
yeah. Okay. Zionic Shadow is saying, I know 2023 going to be big for Sieg New York. We have a lot in the works. It's draining. Oh, Matt, that'll be cool. Let us know.
Absolutely.
And Ian's like, can I join the fun too, guys? Yeah, get 0081 if you don't have it already. You might already have it, actually.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Robert sent a voicemail. Actually, Robert, I didn't set up the thing to do the voicemail. Remind me next time. I apologize. All right, and then was there? Oh, okay, Goose. Yeah, I finished that. And someone was saying M-Bond was the Maxi Boost,
Maxi Boost, yeah.
whatever. But yeah. So, oh yeah, what did you say your game was, Steven?
I think I said 0081.
Oh yeah, even though that doesn't count, but
But
you're
if it doesn't
Steven.
count, then I would say Code Fairy.
Oh, okay. No, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
But what about you? What's your...
Well, with Battle Alliance, I put over or at just about 100 hours. I can't believe it.
Look, I'm going to put it this way. As soon as Battle Alliance came out, here's the thing. If you go back and you look at every Gundam Explained podcast since that came out, all of a sudden, Adam stops talking about the mobile suit of the week for Gundam Battle Operation.
That's
so
true.
If that doesn't tell you what Adam's Gundam game of the year is, then I don't know what to tell you.
No, you're exactly right. That is hilarious. And you know why that's hilarious? Because the suit of the week for GVO2 because now I'm done with SD Gundam Battle Alliance. You know, yeah, that meme with the guy says I'm not friends with this guy anymore. Now it's this guy. It's GBO2. I'm back in, and yeah, that new Jesta, which is pretty sick actually, because the Type B was previously, and now they have this Type A. And again, I used my coins to get it, and I got it. So Shezar type. So, okay, here we go. You see, it has the boosters that the Unicorn uses, and this is supposed to be a Unicorn support unit anyway. So I kind of like that. I love the, these binders, thrusters. I don't know what that's really supposed to be, but the look is sick. Like,
yeah,
I remember we talked about, I think last podcast, combining mobile suits. I would put stuff like that on a Mark II, like the whatever they are. I really like that look. And so anything, it was used for the Operation Phoenix Sun. Oh yeah, so this is more narrative. So I guess then did they take the Justas and refit them to be hunters? I guess. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Which I mean, it's still in line with their function, right?
Yeah. I mean, with all they're like badass suits. Yeah, and then you realize you get to F91 and they're just nothing badass anymore. I hope somehow in Hathaway.
Don't say that on my Discord server because all of the F91 stands will come down on you.
Hey,
like the fury.
I'm a huge F91 stand, but even sometimes I'm like, so that's why I think it is possible that like Hathaway, potentially because of what's going on, it's almost like a domestic terrorism thing. Like if they're able to explain away maybe the technology kind of fragmenting potentially.
Yeah.
Although,
agreed.
So F91, think it back, they never go to Earth anyway. So it could just be that colony just had stuff because maybe by the time of the Laplace conflict and everything, there just wasn't a lot of colony-based battles going on, so they didn't need to send mobile support. I just explained it. I just did. So
there you go.
Yeah, next time someone argues about that, there we go.
That's our headcanon.
Yep. Yeah, so that's that one. Well, was there anything else I was gonna bring up? I think that might be it. Yeah. Let me head back to the other view. That's cool. I didn't mean to do that, but that actually looks cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for this episode. Anyone else in chat have anything cool? I bet so. I saw. Wait, I just lost it. I saw Lucas Garrett say something. I just want to know how we got from the Kasai Gundam to F91 Gundam technology-wise. I think it's that headcanon of they didn't need anything outside of Earth. Earth was more of the target, especially with the domestic terrorism that was occurring via Hathaway, MAFTI. So then all of that tech was just staying on Earth, maybe. And
in the miniaturization. Sorry. Took me a minute to like pronunciate
Oh
that.
yeah, that's a lot of
Um, but
pronunciation.
yeah, making everything smaller. Honestly, in F91, the reactors are smaller. They don't need as big engines. They don't need as big generators. They don't need like everything is more compact. It's like your cell phone, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody used to brag about having the biggest cell phone, and now
Oh
it's
yeah. Now we hate it. We want them
yeah,
smaller, thinner. Yeah. That's a good point too, because not only did the technology make it to where they could have the smaller mobile suits, but that might have made it more efficient for production and shipping, so that they were getting the smaller suits out to the different
exactly.
colonies potentially. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good one. Let's see. Brian Zanichelli. Hey, Adam. In 2023, I'm going to post my artwork that I did over the summer from this year on Discord. Yeah, we'll do that. That would be great.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool artwork in
Just
the Discord.
do it.
Very good. Very good impression of Even Stevens, that guy. Did you watch the
Oh
show
yeah.
Even Stevens? That's how I first heard about him. I loved that show. And I think I was in high school then.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Like I was like, this is pretty good. Let's see. I saw something else. Oh, Neon Wave is saying Gundam needs more robot waifus. AIs don't count. Just saying. So far, there's only one to my knowledge, which appears in Gundam Breaker 3. So I did in my title as more of a joke. I put best waifu. I'm really just trying to get clicks, but no.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go that
Yeah.
route, Adam, top Gundam waifu.
Okay, so that's if it's is it going to be of 2022?
I mean,
Because that would
maybe.
be hard. It would have to be something in Kukuru's Doan's Island, or a game,
Oh,
or which the games kind of can't count because I did not pay attention to anyone's name in a game. I
yeah.
just I just
Same.
wanted to skip the cutscene. That's pretty sad. You know what? Because I watched.
Okay.
Okay, Lucas Garrett
Oh,
just said it. Because I just watched Double O. That Sumeragi from Double O. That was pretty good. She seemed very
there you
mommy
go.
like.
I was
Maybe.
gonna say, are we gonna do our 3, 2, 1 and call it?
Why was that going to be it?
Well, honestly, I think that you and I would have said the same answer, but let's
Sumeragi.
see. For 2022 or all time?
Yeah, good. Well, yeah, I guess I don't have for 2022. I don't think I equipped myself to answer that. Wait a
Same.
minute. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? Which for Mercury came out this year?
It
I
sure did.
There's so many to choose from. There's so many to choose from.
True.
Probably Soletta. There that I just love. I love the design of the hair.
Tanuki!
The way they did the eyebrows.
Ian said it. Choo choo.
Choo choo. That's a good one. She will
Choo
have
choo
your
from the
back.
Bronx.
And I don't want to leave out people that do they call them husbandos?
Husbandos, yeah.
Husbandos. Okay. I don't want to leave that out. So if you need and you know what? I would say Ghoul because
Oh, easily Ghoul.
I think on the inside that man is a good man. I think he
Can we just talk about Man Bun Ghoul? Like when he
Oh,
had his hair tied up.
yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Got
Exactly.
the temperature rising for sure.
Great job with that character, especially seeing the range of emotions from how he acts like he's gonna get this, it doesn't matter, to like how he was vulnerable with Soletta for that moment.
True.
I love that. Ghoul
You
is
just
Bob the
beat me
Builder.
in a fight. Now marry me.
Yeah, yeah. But it was crazy because it was almost like for a second, like if Soletta didn't freak out like she did, I felt like he would have opened up to her accepting him, and then he would have changed. But I think the moment he saw her freak out, it's almost like it was his defensive nature to just go into his hard mode. Yeah.
In a weird way, I almost feel like Ghoul is a better influence on Suletta than Mio is.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that Mio is a manipulative person by
Yeah.
her nature. I think that she's kind of, you know, she's not necessarily in it for the people that she's supposed to be representing. She's in it for the wrong reasons. And so,
And it's interesting because you feel that in her, but you felt like that was just an edge of her character. But it wasn't until this latest episode where it was like, yeah, okay. I mean,
yeah.
is the main battle gonna be Soleta versus Mjolnir? Like that would be insane. That would be,
I think that would make a lot of sense,
yeah.
though. And I would not have, if you would ask me like 3 episodes ago, hey, who do you think the main antagonist of this show is going to be? I would not have put a dime on
Yeah,
Mio.
yeah, I know they're doing a great job with that. Oh,
But Dan and Ian have the best
I was
take right
just
here.
gonna say that, Emma. There's something about that character. I think it's just her already
Yeah.
being a Titan is pretty badass, but then understanding she went next level of like, but the Titans they might be badass, but that's not the right thing to do, and
Yeah.
that. And she doesn't go fall for someone else on another side and then like completely flip, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Um.
totally.
Oh man.
Um,
Poor Hank.
well, yeah. Well, I guess that does it. Yeah, Ian, I am having trouble with my words today. But yeah. Oh, Mula Flaga from Seed. Lucas Garrett is saying that. Yeah, that
I
cool
love
character.
Moolah Flagger.
Yeah. But no, that
Even with a
doesn't.
scar, handsome as hell.
Oh, he has a scar. I guess I haven't gotten to
Oh,
that.
damn it! Spoilers.
It's okay. Hey, no, look, it's okay. I've probably seen enough of Seed that as it goes, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Obviously.
It's already happening. But hey guys, that was fun. I love that. I didn't put up Patreon questions for this week because I knew we would get enough content from asking everyone what they thought about their favorite Gundam stuff of the year. So,
Obviously.
yeah, that does that. Oh, Roluka. Okay,
Oh.
okay, we could be here forever. Please, Zionic Shadow. No, but no, this was fun. Check out the links below because like the supporters have their links there, like Ian, Zionic Shadow, but also Steven's stuff because I was live on Steven's channel yesterday, every Wednesday. It's really fun. I mean, and especially if you don't want it to just always be just Gundam, we also talk about other things, and that actually is a nice little break. Anything else to add, Steven?
No, I think that's it. Merry Christmas.
That is it.
I
Oh,
guess everyone have a safe and happy
yes.
holiday this weekend.
That is correct. And I guess if anyone gets stuff Gundam related, post them in Discord. That would be be pretty cool. So,
We'll be
all
around.
all right then. Well, everyone, we'll talk later.